So one of the things I want to share with you about negotiation is where it starts and where it ends. So let's talk about this negotiation. How many people here have ever met somebody and the minute you met them, you just really liked them? Raise your hand. Okay. How many people here have ever met somebody and the minute you met them, you hated them? Raise your hand. Okay. How many people here married that person? How'd it work out? Great. Okay. How'd it work out for you? Still married. Still married. Okay. Here's the interesting thing. Statistics say in the United States that 50% of all first marriages end in divorce. And the major reason they end in divorce, when the psychologists and sociologists look at this, you know what they've discovered? The major reason these marriages fail is because people gave up negotiating once they were in the marriage. They negotiated like heck to get the person to marry them, didn't they? But all of a sudden, they gave up on the negotiation. So all of the skills that I'm going to teach you today, guys, we're going to look at, these are going to help you buy a car. These are going to help you get along better with your mother-in-law, okay? These are going to help you better with your clients. But negotiation is much more than just getting a price. All right, here's what I want to share with you. I want you to forget win-win, because win-win isn't possible. I will go to audiences and say, who played sports in school? And somebody said, okay, I played football. All right, fine. I said, if the score is 6-6, is that a win-win? No, that's a tie. And what do you have to do to get a win? Somebody has to lose. And one of the things I've seen happen in negotiations is that people will negotiate past being done because they're trying so desperately to get to win-win. So what I want to share with you is 2 words, and when you use these in negotiation, people go, oh, that's kind of cool. What I want you to think about is fair negotiations, all right? Fair negotiations. Because I believe this about negotiations. Every negotiation is just the start of the next one, right? I mean, isn't it wonderful if you have somebody that came and stayed at your property, came to your city, and they decide 3 years later, we want to come back because they were so good to us, right? In those relationships, what we have to realize is that it is a give and take. And if we set it up that way, fair works like this. On this deal, I get a little piece of you. On the next deal, you get a little piece of me. But you trust me, I like you like doing business with me, you're comfortable with our product. Let's not waste a lot of time trying to make this win-win. Let's be happy for fair. And I will share something with you that I discovered totally by mistake. If you're negotiating with somebody and it gets kind of bogged down, you can kind of say, you know what? Let's look at this from a fair perspective. And then go, what do you mean fair? Fair means, it's got to be a good deal for me as well as it's got to be a good deal for you. Because if it's not a good deal for either one of us, it's not going to be a good experience. All right? So we want to think about being fair. I learned that from a client one time. I was going to collect a $250,000 receivable from a client. And I'm in there, I'm a young, energetic sales guy, and the boss said, get on that plane and don't you come home until you get that check, right? And I'm in there and I'm going and I'm talking to this guy, and finally he looks at me and he goes, Mike, I want to do what's right for you, but I also have to do what's right for me because I'm the customer and you kind of need me. Ooh. I am delighted that at 24 years old, he gave me that piece of information, because what was I doing? I was brain locked on, don't come home without the check, all right? Forgot the fact he had ordered $2 million worth of stuff, and we were going to come to an agreement on this. So we have to bear in mind that sometimes, as somebody said here, one of the reasons is we get brain locked on this is the price I got to get. Okay? And this is how many beds I got to have, and this is the kind of food we're going to have. And we get locked on it, and we miss where we've missed, so many other opportunities to make the negotiation work.